Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Starting 11 here on the Let's Get Ready Network. I'm Adelia, that's my buddy Snark, and we are here to talk about the penultimate edition, weekend, whatever, of the Premier League this season.
Wonderfully said. Mm-hmm.
It was quite the weekend.
Oh, history-making weekend.
Yeah.
Some
We have
for
the
the
champions have been crowned.
yeah.
Still don't have another team relegated. I thought maybe we'd get a team relegated this weekend, but that didn't happen. So the relegation battle's going down to the last weekend.
Yeah.
And it's pretty crazy.
Oh, it's crazy. There are things happening.
Yeah. We have a special guest joining us.
Speaking of things happening.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show, Mr. Fares Muthana.
Hey everybody,
Hello,
how's
Fares.
everybody doing?
Oh boy.
Doing good.
What a shirt.
I love that shirt.
It's a phenomenal shirt. It's a tremendous shirt.
Got him, man.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Fares, you're back.
Yeah, I know. Haven't been back since the World Cup coverage.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Where we talk about the Americans.
It's been a while.
It's been a little bit. It's nice to have you back. Just in time to cheer on your team to a second place on the podium. We'll talk about that match in a bit. First off, though, we're gonna start this stuff. There's still some places to be settled. Well, there were some places to be settled in the European positions. It starts with Newcastle and Brighton, and this wasn't the Brighton that showed up against Arsenal. Let's just say that. A poor, let's say, performance from Brighton, highlighted by Dennis Undav, of course, in giving up the first goal from on his own net on a Kevin Trippier corner, just heads it bad, puts it in, and a second goal before the half scored by Dan Burns. And I just wanted to mention this one. It was a nice play, a nice header inside. There was a nice cross into him, header inside for his first goal as a Newcastle man, but he grew up as a Newcastle fan. So that's always a big deal, getting your first goal for your boyhood club. Good for him. Dennis Undav does atone quickly after in the second half, but mostly because of an amazing pass by Billy Gilmore. Again, a guy that Chelsea gave up because, we don't need players that can put the ball in good places, but that's fine. I'm not going to pull my goddamn hair out over it. Undav scores. Goddamn. And then Almiron finally shows a little bit of flash. He has been lacking ever since World Cup. I think he only has maybe 2 goals in that span, but he showed some real good finesse. And then you found Callum Wilson alone breaking in on that. Good goal for Callum Wilson, who has been on fire for Newcastle as of late. Guimaraes will score another one too. Make it 4-1. And we're going to talk about the sine wave of Brighton later on as well, too. But they just seem to have up and down performances of late. You never know what Brighton and Hove Albion squad you're going to get. But, still incredible season so far for Brighton and De Zerbi. I think they've certainly outplayed all expectations of them. And will they be getting European football? We'll talk about that when we talk Saturday matches. But next, we're just going to go straight on to the Saturday matches. I'm going to mix it up the order a little bit just to have a little more fun. We'll talk about quickly. We'll talk about Bournemouth versus Manchester United. And not much of a game at all, but it's highlighted by an incredible goal by Casemiro. Spin kick after it gets deflected by Senesi, is that who touched the ball for Bournemouth or whatever? Twisted, kicks it up, high top corner at a real rate of speed. Goal, maybe the goal of the week, one of the goals of the month. An incredible finish from a guy who, let's face it, hasn't provided as much for United as they expected, except for plenty of time off in between because his attitude when he came over. But
Good
Good for
old
him.
red cards.
That's right. Good for them. Good for United. They're still top four chance at higher, but they shouldn't drop down to Europa leagues now, anyways.
Real
Uh,
Madrid players realizing that you can get called for fouls.
it's amazing. It's
Yeah,
amazing.
them
Yeah,
realizing it.
Yeah.
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 And now
Like,
they'll
what
get.
is that? A
Yeah,
yellow? You're giving me a yellow? What?
well,
I've never seen that in my life.
yeah. They've had it pretty easy, but if you talk to any Madrid fan, they think the world's against them or whatever, and they never get any calls or anything.
Hmm.
Sort of like Tottenham fans. But anyways, at least Madrid wins titles. Now, Fulham and Palace. It was a 2-2 draw there at Craven's Cottage. Let's say two more goals from Mitrovic, one on the penalty, and one just from the run of play. It was a great free. It was a free kick from Willian that Mitrovic gets his head to put it in. Joel Ward ties the game
Bad
late.
defense. Pure bad defense, Rob. I was
Well, yeah.
watching that. It was
Who
it
do you
was like
mark?
no. Well, you always mark him.
Yeah, exactly. Who
You
do you
always mark
mark?
him. He literally, Rob. He literally all he did like so he started from the back line, like right in
Yeah,
the back, and he's in the like the scrum. And if you see Alexander Mitrovic run away from you, and he loops in front of it, whoever that was just bad defense. I'm sorry, like it was a
yeah,
phenomenal finish by Mitrovic. I'm not
yeah.
gonna yeah, like it was damn good, but it was
Uh,
good because bad defense overall. It's
yeah.
bad
It was
defense.
it was bad defense. You put two or three guys on this guy all the
Yeah,
time. Let the other guys beat you. Let the other guys score.
anyone
Let
else,
them make the shot. Yeah,
anyone
you
else.
just get in front of this guy. If you have to take him down, you take him down. Of
Hmm.
course, you had already taken a penalty earlier when Harry Wilson got brought down. But yeah, and we can say of course also Eze scores and incredible. He was like again what an incredible season for Eze. For Crystal Palace, I think a surprising season how well they've done. They won't finish in the top 10. They should finish ahead of Chelsea now. But yeah,
Of
good
course,
for
everyone
Crystal
finishes in
Palace.
front of Chelsea nowadays.
How dare you,
I here spending
madam?
six.
How
I
dare
has
you?
I is spending almost $500 million and still fucking 15th.
This is amazing. It's amazing. Drive me bananas.
Wannabe
Five other
Galacticos.
changes. Like it's like they can't choose.
You're not even buying good players, Rob. You're just
They're
buying
buying good.
people.
They're buying
Just
good.
buying people.
They're buying good
They,
players, and
they
they're
are
hoping
buying good players.
they're hoping for what like, and this is another reason why they're signing them to these huge long contracts. They're hoping them that they get them at a good rate now, so that when they mature into these players, they're expecting they're still gonna have 3-4 years on their contract.
And
But
you know who I really like
oof,
off of Crystal
it's
Palace,
gonna be a
Rob?
tough go.
I
Who's
like
that?
I like I like I don't know it's pronounced because he's French, so it could be either Michael or Michelle.
Mm-hmm.
It's one or the other. But
Mm-hmm.
Michael Olise, I quite enjoy him at
Yeah,
Crystal Palace.
he's also been very good for them.
Yeah.
There's been surprising players and stuff like that. Maybe
Hmm.
tough to see Patrick Vieira go if you're an Arsenal fan, but I think they've uh, taken advantage of that. And
They've definitely improved since Patrick
Yes.
Vieira left for sure.
yeah, yeah, it's a
We
thing with
can we can say that.
having
Great
star
I
players
I
players.
as
am
coaches. Not great.
I am surprised that they improved this much under Roy Hodgson,
Hmm.
but
Well, and he's 72
Sometimes you just
years
need a
old and
different
former
voice.
Crystal Palace legend, and
Sometimes you just
uh,
need a different voice in those people's ears. You know what I mean? Like
it isn't.
sometimes
yeah,
Is it really? It isn't a different voice for the club. I guess a different voice for the players. But of
different
course,
voice for the
Roy
players.
Hodgson. Yeah, he's been around that club for so many years. So it's kind of nostalgia bringing him back, but it works. I can think of some nostalgia hires from a certain team that hasn't worked
Frank
for jack
Lampard.
shit. Hasn't worked for anything. My favorite player, maybe of all time. Definitely not my favorite manager. Okay, let's go on to another game.
You should have
And
hired John Terry.
he was there. He was already there. God
Could have been
damn.
horrible too.
Now he's on like the touchline for Leicester. Oh, that drives me nuts. It was worse enough when he went to Villa when they were down. Oh my god. Anyways, whatever. It's gonna drive me crazy.
Tell me how you really
Liverpool
feel,
won.
Rob. It's a therapy session.
Yeah, Chelsea legend. Oh my gosh. Yes. Yeah. It's a shame, but whatever. That's fine. Liverpool won. Villa won. Yeah. Ollie Watkins with a poor, almost Salah-esque
Garbo.
almost a
Bad.
Salah-esque penalty.
Bad.
It was just never going to go in. You have
Bad.
to take
yeah.
advantage. You have to take advantage of it. Uh, Great goal though to go on the board first with that cross by Luis, finding Jacob Ramsey's boot in some traffic. It wasn't like he had a tight window to put it in. A terrific goal, but this
I
game will be known or renowned
for the
for
yep.
well, there's the VAR against Gapo or whatever, but yeah, that was a handball. Uh, it's for Robert Firmino's last ever appearance as a Liverpool player at Anfield, and comes on in the 72nd minute, and not long after that, levels
Ties
the
it up.
match. It'll be his last goal in a Liverpool shirt at Anfield. A pretty historic career, won everything you can win with them, so they can say uh, adios to Roberto Firmino. Now he's still not sure where he's going. They've talked maybe Spain, Italy, of course. They talk about. There's a chance he could end up in the Premiership. I'm not sure where. Maybe with one of the
Always go
teams
to
that
America.
yeah, there's that quick paycheck you can get. Does Robert Firmino move the needle for you as an MLS squad? I just don't see them
No,
paying
he
the money
doesn't.
for
He's
him. Yeah,
like the thing is, no, he doesn't at
he just
all.
doesn't have that name. He doesn't have that
He doesn't have the
impact name.
juice. No, he doesn't
Right.
have the juice like Beckham or
Yeah.
Thierry or
Yeah.
Andrea Pirlo,
Or Frankie
Kaká.
Lampard.
Frank
Yeah, that
Lampard was
was
in the
him.
MLS.
Yeah, it was
Yep.
such a yeah. That's why he went to Manchester City because he was waiting to go to NYC FC. Didier Drogba, also a former MLS guy, he played
Yes.
for the Montreal Impact.
Who's that? Who's the Swiss person?
Shaqiri.
Shaqiri's in Chicago.
Shaqiri.
Yeah, Shaqiri's in Chicago.
I think the
Yep.
Shaqiri is the highest paid player in MLS.
His hips
History.
don't lie. His hips do not lie at all.
No, they don't. But honestly,
Sorry,
like
sorry. By the way, my camera's quit working, so
You're
I'm
still
still
you're
here.
still on board. You're still on board.
You're
It's
so
fine.
good.
We can hear you. We can hear you.
Also, too, speaking of Jacob Ramsey, Rob, I heard apparently that's his 11th goal in 11 games against Liverpool.
He's been
So
fantastic.
he quite
He's a good player,
He's been
and
good this year.
I am shocked by how well Villa has responded again from another famous player getting the boot and bringing in Emery. And for my money, he's been the manager of the year. If I had a vote, that's who I would vote for. It's probably going to go, of course, go to Pep Guardiola and what he does. But when you
shouldn't
see,
though.
no, of course it shouldn't.
Should be go to
But when
Mikel
you see,
Arteta.
oh my God, I would just say when the club we saw with Steven Gerrard in charge, and then with Unai Emery in charge, it is night and day. Just the compete level, what he gets out of those players. He's been a terrific coach for them. Yeah, I would for sure.
And
That's where
especially
my
after
ballot
the
would
way
go.
that the whole experiment with Emery at Arsenal went, I was not expecting
Right.
this from Emery at Aston Villa.
Yep. It's just
I agree. He's probably the manager of the season. I mean, Mikel Arteta did great things with Arsenal this year, but like Aston Villa were in relegation form, and now they're like this. So
They're almost they're in the Europa contention.
they're in Europa
Hey,
contention.
can we talk about Europa real quick?
Which one?
In the European Confederations League?
Yeah. Okay.
Like it's a bunch
The
of losers
Conference
playing
League.
a bunch of losers.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
like I'm
who's
sorry,
gonna be the 200th best team in Europe right now?
that's what I'm saying, bro. Like I'm sorry. Like I remember like people talk about Europa and talk about like Sevilla and Roma are in the final. I'm like, so losers are facing losers in
Yeah.
a losers.
Yeah.
This is the losers bracket. This is a
Sure.
losers bracket. But
Yep.
no one wants to say it out loud because it sounds it's like no, it's the loser bracket. It's fifth place.
Winning trophies are fun. Winning trophies are
Yeah,
fun. That's why
when
they have these things.
no offense, Europa League's a participation trophy in my opinion.
Yeah, it can be for sure. It can be for sure, and we're going to talk about maybe a team that's in the finals of the Europa Conference League in a little bit. First, I just want to quickly talk Wolverhampton versus Everton in a huge match for Everton.
huge match.
Huge, and it's Wolves going up first, and it's Young Hee Chan getting the goal, but from an just a powerful run by Adama Traore. Just going through, you just see the speed. Like this guy is so big, but I guess the speed just doesn't come to mind. But he's so fast. When he gets ahead of speed, he can really go. Gets it on net, but a huge rebound right to Youngie Chan. He scores 1-0 Wolves, and it stays like that until the 99th minute when
Crazy.
Everton has everybody up front. Jordan Pickford up front. And Jordan Pickford in this match, give out that goal. After that, he was incredible. He made some
Yeah.
terrific saves and really held them in.
Mhm.
Yeah, even on the other side, Daniel Bentley was very good until until Damari Gray is going to put a cross in. And for some reason, Bentley goes 8 feet out of his net to play the ball. It goes off his chest and goes through to Michael Keane, who gets it out to Yerry Mina, who scores with like 4 seconds left in the entire match. It would have been 4 seconds left. Could have been 4 seconds left in Everton's whole future. Instead, they steal a point. They avert disaster. It's not the best. Like if they would have won, of course, much better. And I think this is a game where they could have won. Wolverhampton Wanderers have not been in good form as of late. A very winnable match. Doesn't go their way. 99 minutes with Pickford up front. I thought that was crazy. It was just so much happening. And a scramble basically in front is what gets them through. They're still not in the clear. The Toffees could go down, but it's going to take a real piece of work now. It's going to take two teams winning on the final week and then losing. So any kind of point, I think, will get them through. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Now,
Yeah, the goalie overplayed his line.
well, he was way out. I don't know what he was doing.
I don't know what he was doing.
Go ahead, Adelia.
Yeah, I was going to say about Wolves, and they secured the fact that they weren't going to get relegated, and then they just kind of stopped playing.
Yeah, that was
this
it.
Season.
We've mentioned that on the show too. Yeah.
Yeah, they could have won this game. They didn't win this game, and it's huge for Everton that they got this point.
Yeah, Sam Dyche is still in there. He's done well with these guys. Oh, sorry, Sean Dyche. Because I'm thinking of Big Sam, which I'll be talking about.
You're combining Sam Allardyce and Sean Dyche.
Exactly what I did.
Which is a scary thought.
Sean Allardyce? Is that who you're talking about? Yeah. But yes, yeah, and again, another guy who's taken over for Frankie Lampard, so another star player who lost his position. And has Everton been better under Dyche? Yes, just not better enough. At least not yet. They're not through. There's still going to be an interesting final week for the Toffees. Now, you guys want to talk something fun, or do you want to talk something sad?
Let's get the sad part over with.
All right, let's rip the Band-Aid off. And a poor performance away at the City Grounds to Forest leaves Arsenal as the bridesmaid this year. They're going to finish second. Wasn't a good game. I do think that Forest played really well, especially their goalkeeper. But you could tell there was a difference not having Martinelli there. Of course, Saliba we talk about week after week after week, just what it meant to your back line. But yeah, not having Martinelli
and Tomiyasu, I've decided, are the two injuries that changed our entire season, and they both happened in that Sporting game.
Yep. So Arsenal is going to fall 1-0. You guys, your thoughts on it? Has to be, you have to consider it a successful season. You have to consider it the best season in almost 20 years for Arsenal.
No, we don't.
Fares, as a new fan, do you consider it your doing that they did so well?
No, it wasn't a successful season because
of very good.
No, let me tell you why. No, it's because the problem. Here's what the problem happened. If we were like third or second throughout most of the year, it would have been a successful season because we were like projected to be like only like 6 or 7, right? Going, probably only top 10. But number 2, it would have been a great season. But the problem is during the season, We were first at Christmas.
Yep.
We were leading. So a stat was we led for 278 days.
Right.
That's the longest time leading the league without winning the title. Going in,
Now,
our expectation was to play good top 5 Europe.
yep.
Top
Well,
four.
I would
But
think I
top
think
four,
Champions
top
League
four,
for sure.
top
top
four,
four.
For sure.
Well, you know, Europa League technically is 5.
Yeah, but
No,
you guys
but
have
like-
the
done
goal
that. You
this
guys
year,
did
Fares.
Champions
The
League.
goal this year, absolutely
Champions?
100%. The goal this year was Champions League.
Yeah,
so
100%.
top 4. That was the goal.
Top 4.
Yep.
But the goal then changed throughout halfway through the season when we were number 1. Win.
Yeah.
So it's not a good season because there are games that we left points on the board that
Yep.
we could have had 3 points going in. The Brighton game was bad. Like even the what is it? Was it Southampton where they went up 3-1 on us, and then we had to score 2 goals in like the 89th minute and then like the 93rd minute. We should have won that game. That's 6 points right there.
I think
There are
you guys got
games we should
9
have won.
points. 9 points of 3 your last 9 games. I believe that's right.
Yes.
2 wins and 3 draws or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not great, but you had an 8-point lead. It was an artificial 8-point lead just because of the games in hand that City had. But City just wasn't going to lose. They weren't losing. It's so tough. They're an incredible team, and I think there's nothing to be ashamed of losing out to City in the form they've been in. Unstoppable.
Rob, I
Yep.
don't care. We should have won.
Can I just say that I disagree with
course.
Fares? This was a successful season for Arsenal.
Right. Yep.
We had injuries derail the end of the season
That's also
with
true.
the Saliba and Tomiyasu injuries. Because if Tomiyasu doesn't get injured, then we can play Ben White at center back instead of Rob Holding,
Mhm.
and have Tomiyasu, who is also a center back. He plays center back for Japan. Play right back, or he could have played center back and kept Ben White at right back, something like
Mhm.
that. That destroyed the chemistry of the back line. Like, I love Rob Holding. I think he's been a great squad player for Arsenal for many years. He's a great locker room guy, but he should not be playing for us in the Premier League, especially in games like that big game at Man City. Even though he's the one that scored our goal in that game,
Right.
it was not great. He made several mistakes in the games that he played. The back line got better once we started playing Kivior. I understand that Zinchenko was injured, but I don't know why we didn't play Kieran Tierney at left back yesterday. Or not yesterday, but Saturday.
Yep.
I didn't understand the back three from the moment I saw the back three. I was like, we're going to lose this game. Because we haven't played with that formation all season. Not in the Premier League, not in the Europa League, not in any of the cups. Like, I don't know why
14.
we didn't play Kieran Tierney, and I still haven't seen why we didn't play Kieran Tierney.
Yeah, we're back 14,
he's
dog.
injured. Maybe he's injured. Maybe he's sick. I don't know what happened there, but they just looked like they had nothing to play for, and they knew they had nothing to play for, and so Nottingham Forest had everything to play for. Because if they lost that game yesterday, they're relegated. Or Saturday, they're relegated.
They're close to being relegated for sure. They're in that area.
If they had lost, they were saying on NBC that they would be relegated.
Well, they're through now, and with the way I think with the results now, there are the guys in last or in 7th or 18th and 19th. I believe they're at 33 points, and I think Forest.
Also, too, I understand where Adelia's
so who
coming
knows
from.
Yeah,
with the injuries. That's
there's still a chance of them going up, but
it was very apparent. This is what the collapse towards the season showed. I believe we should have still won, but here's what it showed: we have no depth. We don't trust our bench. There's no depth. Like Manchester City sat $500 million on the bench against Chelsea, and they still won the game. We want to, like, I know we can't spend like they spend because they break rules to do that. Yeah, I said it.
Not a single one.
I said it. Cheaters. Shout out to Lucky Luciano. That's for Adelia. But it showed that we have no depth, man. One injury ruined this team. Saliba
It's
Boom.
the two injuries. It's Saliba and it's Tomiyasu. I think people are forgetting about the Tomiyasu injury.
No,
because
I understand it, but I feel like Ben
Tomiyasu
White could have.
injury was important.
But I think
I
Ben
think
White could have
integrating
supplemented Tomiyasu.
Gabby Jesus back into the squad too. I think that kind of
Yeah,
put things out of
Gabby.
joint a little bit as
Him
well.
being hurt also kind of messed it up.
Him being hurt didn't mess it up as much as you would think, because we were clicking when we came back from the World Cup, and we went on a really
Eddie
good run
Nketiah.
there when we got back from the World Cup. Eddie Nketiah was playing really well, and then Eddie Nketiah got injured. We were playing Leandro Trossard as that false 9, and that was working.
I
And then
thought he was
Jesus
terrific.
came back in, and he didn't score any goals. I mean, he scored some goals, but not enough. And
The guy I picked to win the Golden Boot, not close.
I mean, hurt his knee, Rob.
I believe that we were the only team still the only team in the Premier League this year that had 4 players that scored at least 10 Premier League goals. I mean, Jesus was one of them, but you need more than 10 goals from your main striker, and I understand that he was injured, but you need more goals than that.
I would love if a guy had 10 goals for Chelsea. I don't think it ever happened this year.
I'm just saying, I think we should have. I get Anfield magic or whatever. We should have beaten Liverpool.
Yep.
Should have beaten Liverpool. We should have beaten West Ham the next week.
We should have beaten Southampton. Those 3 straight ties messed us up.
Yeah. The fact that we only got 2 points out of both the games that we played against Southampton, and they are the bottom team in the league, is unacceptable.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys got points against Southampton?
Yes.
You mean people don't just lose both games to Southampton?
Yeah, no, Rob. Yes. Yeah, they beat Southampton. Yes. and the Brighton loss, the 3-0 Brighton loss, that was inexcusable.
That was inexcusable. That's when we officially lost the title. This clinched it officially for Man City, but that Brighton loss is the one that killed the chances. I will look back on this season very, very fondly, but I will also be frustrated because we could have done something great if we had the depth and we didn't have the injuries.
Yeah.
Because if we had kept up the pace and won the games that were not against Man City, we would have beaten them. And it just didn't happen. But this is the second time that Arsenal has finished second in the entire time I've been a fan of Arsenal. I've never seen him win anything but the FA Cup. And I really want to see him win the league. It didn't work out this year. But I'm not going to say that this wasn't a successful season, because after the collapse of last year that got us out of the Champions League places we had rightfully earned ourselves into a Europa League place, I'm very happy that we're going to be in the Champions League next year. If you had told me at the beginning of the season that we would be finishing in the league by a lot, we're 11 points ahead of Newcastle in third or something like that,
Right.
then I would have taken it immediately.
It did. So I agree. I agree.
Successful season.
I agree. Before the season, if you told me that, I agree. But during the season, expectations changed.
Well, the expectations changed, but I also, maybe it's just because I've been watching Arsenal longer than you have, Fares. I have also gotten used to them somehow screwing everything up, and injuries and
New York Knicks.
Bad decisions sort of did that this year. So I was kind of, I don't want to say expecting this, but I'm not as disappointed by it as I feel like you are.
Yeah, you're probably right. But here's the thing. Mikel Arteta and Edu Gaspar, they know the deficiencies of this team. Go buy some players.
They're going to.
Now, do you guys want to talk about some of the players that have been linked to you guys coming over this in the offseason? Just some of the rumors going around? Some of the big names that might be coming to Arsenal. Of course, Gundogan. There's a big name coming over. I don't know if he's a big name for you guys now. He'd still come off your bench, I would imagine. But also, Declan Rice. Gundogan? Yeah, he doesn't start for City.
He doesn't start for City because of Bruno Silva and Kevin De Bruyne.
Yeah,
so we don't have Bruno Silva or Kevin De Bruyne in our midfield.
Bernardo Silva, for one thing.
You'll get. There's a very good chance you guys are going to be the ones to land Declan Rice.
Yeah.
David Moyes has already said he fully expects Declan Rice to not be with the club. Of course, that makes him scoring on Sunday at home or whatever all the more special for
Wait,
him. One last goal for the Hammers, but there's of course, the Chelsea name is already out there too. I'm gonna push that away or whatever. We have
Moises
no.
Casero as well.
Moises Caicedo also linked to Chelsea as well as Arsenal. But Mason Mount also
Mhm.
a top name to look out for with Arsenal. If it comes down to a bidding war between Arsenal and Liverpool, I'm sure you guys are going to be able to take Mason Mount. And now I'm not sure if
I
Pochettino
don't
is going to
want
make a play.
Mason Mount.
Yet he's such you can be temperamental, but remember this has been a bad season for him. For the previous 2 seasons, he was Chelsea's best player, so he can be very good.
There's also
He
there's also
just a bad season.
a couple of stories that are like not like Mohamed Kudus out of Ajax.
Right.
He's been linked to us.
Mhm.
He plays attacking midfield, center attacking midfield, just like Martin Odegaard, as well as other just regular center midfield, as
Yep.
well as one of our youngsters, Ethan Nawari. His schoolboy
Nawari,
registration
yeah.
finishes in June, and the problem is we've given him an offer, but unfortunately Chelsea, Man City, and Man United are also monitoring his situation. So we need to.
I didn't really care.
You don't care about Ethan? Damn, that's crazy.
I like Ethan, but like I'd rather have players of the squad that are going to be able to contribute now and not just play for the under 21s for another year.
And
Well, also
you're selling them
Flo,
for a pure profit. You're selling them for pure profit.
yeah, and Florian Balogun as well. So what are we doing with him?
Flo Balogun, I think we're gonna sell. Reece Nelson's leaving the club.
Yeah.
Granted,
What a
Jack is
goal.
gone.
Is that would
Granted,
you
Jack is
consider
probably gone.
that Reece Nelson goal? Would you consider that your favorite goal of the
Yes.
season?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. It was.
That was the moment I was the most excited all season.
Yeah.
Because I did not expect that at all.
Rob, you know how loud it got, Rob? the NBC sports cameras started shaking.
Yeah.
The camera started shaking. They were like this because people were just screaming and yelling and jumping up and down on the Emirates.
Yeah.
That's when magic was created.
Because it's made out of
That's
toothpicks.
That's probably I don't know if I'd say the most important goal of the season, but it's definitely the one that got celebrated the most.
When I say that, I was just more meaning your favorite goal. Was that your favorite goal of the year?
Yeah.
I don't have any.
Honestly, my two favorite goals were the Eddie and Kedia FA goals. I remember that game because so he actually he should have had a hat trick. So beforehand he missed the goal, right? And then I mean Adelia were watching it and I was cussing him out. I was like, "You mother!" And then he scored 2 goals after I cussed him out, and I was like, "You know what? I take it back."
Yeah, I like Eddie and Kedia.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Eddie and
Kedia. I like Eddie and Kedia too. I would kind of rather have Florian Balogun than Eddie and Kedia though. Yep. I kind of wish we'd sell Nketiah and keep Flo. I don't think that's what's going to happen. As far as my favorite goals of the season, the Martinelli goal against Liverpool at home, the first opening goal in the first minute, that was a big one. Eddie and Nketiah's winner against Man United was a big one.
Mm-hmm.
Because they went to VAR for a solid 5 minutes.
They did their best to disallow it.
Yeah, but they couldn't do it.
Nope, they couldn't.
Yeah, baby.
All right, you guys want to feel better?
Yes.
You guys feeling a little bit down?
Yeah.
A little.
Then let's talk about Spurs at home at the storied Tottenham Hotspur Stadium.
Yes, that
wonderful, in a derby with Brentford. First, I think we mentioned it before, but Ivan Toney this week was given his 8-month ban, fined £50,000.
I'm surprised it's only 8 months.
It's bananas. He confessed to
he admitted
232 betting violations over a 4-year span. 232. Those are the ones he confessed
8 months and £50,000 fine.
£50,000. Like, oh my God, that's not even what he puts on a bet.
Ridiculous.
He bets £50,000.
That's less than what he makes a week.
It's unbelievable.
It's
unbelievable.
What should have been the punishment, guys?
There was another there was another ban. A guy had admitted to more. I think it was almost 1,000 betting violations. They gave him 18
Was that
months.
Joey Barton?
I think so. I can't remember the name, but
Yeah,
it
I
was
think that was Joey
18 month.
Barton.
18-month ban is the most.
So 2.5 years.
Yeah,
So, well, 1.5. Well, yeah.
it's
By the
one and
time
a
you,
half.
yeah,
Oh,
one
one
and a
and a
half.
half.
But I wouldn't. I would just give him a. Why don't you just give him a solid year? Why don't you just say you don't get to play the 23-24 season? Is it because his contract's coming up? I have no idea. I have no idea. Anyways, the next time he gets to play will be in January of 2024. But he can, for some reason, join his squad and train 4 months prior to that,
That's
which is
stupid.
banana.
That's ridiculous.
A little ridiculous. Let's speak more ridiculous. So on to the match itself. There's a free kick and a goal
It's a
by
beautiful,
Harry
actually a
Kane.
beautiful goal. It was a
A wonderful
pretty
goal.
amazing goal.
The nice little tip there to him, and he just finds the top corner, and that's what Harry Kane does. Will he be doing it for Tottenham next year?
No.
Will be the question. I think that's his 30th goal through all competitions this year for Kane. So, good for him.
I prefer Harry Kane on Leeds United.
Oh, he won't go there. Man U, I think it's a big. It will be
FIFA,
big
my
into
my
trying to get
FIFA
him.
career reference.
Oh my God. Uh, Chelsea, of course, with Pochettino is now in the race. I don't think there's a million years where Tottenham sells them to Chelsea. I could just imagine they would tear that shithole of a stadium down. Uh, but after that, after you go into the second half, and it's all goddamn Brentford. Uh, two
And
goals, quick,
a
but
brace.
yeah, the brace by who am I looking for? What name am I looking for?
And Boomo.
Oh yes, Mbumo. My favorite name of late. Anyways, there's been a few.
Here comes
Uh,
the Umbumo.
yeah, here it comes, the Mbumo. Visat's another in the 88th. Another Spurs loss. Another Spurs loss at home.
I loved every second of this.
Yep, it's fantastic. There's no more fans I'd rather see disappointed than a Tottenham fan. Should finish outside of European play now. We'll see.
Yeah. You ever wondered why people hate those North London teams so much? You know what I mean? Everyone like I understand why people hate Spurs, right? Because they're just annoying. They
Yeah,
they think they have history and class and they don't. No one cares about you. And then and then like us, like they prey on Arsenal's downfall. They enjoy that we were in second place. People like Chelsea who are 15th, and you have people who are in Man United who are fourth and are like 15 points behind us. You know what I mean? Because they're losers. And then like,
I
and then
don't
you
Um.
have
think I don't think anybody really hates Arsenal all that much. Because
Oh,
until now
but there's
they just
certain
haven't been
sections
they
of
just haven't
there's
been
certain
relevant
section.
enough.
Yeah, there's certain sections of Twitter who were just celebrating that Man City won the title, including Man United fans, which I found
which is
incredibly
disgusting.
strange, just because it meant we didn't.
Now
And no,
Yeah,
Fares,
how
let
does
me talk for a second,
no,
please.
United?
no, do
Yeah,
it, Adelia. Do your thing,
United.
Adelia. Talk your smack, Adelia. Go hit it.
I don't mind Man City fans talking shit about Arsenal because
Hmm.
they beat us fair and square. They beat us. But if you are a fan of a club that is more than 10 points behind us, even into third place, like, what are Tottenham fans? I saw a picture of a Tottenham fan at White Hart Lane or whatever the hell they're calling that stadium this week. Um,
Just
holding a
Hotspur Stadium.
banner about how much Mikel Arteta sucks, and I was like, "You guys aren't even qualifying for Europe.
Yep.
We're going to be in the Champions League next year. Waste your energy on hating your own team. Don't hate us." And I know that that's just like ridiculous because of course Tottenham fans are going to hate us because we hate Tottenham fans. It's just the way the nature of the Premier League
It's
fandom goes. But like, I do not understand why so many people just decided to celebrate Arsenal didn't win the title because, like, I don't know why anybody likes Man City if you're not a Man City fan.
yeah, it's awful.
Also,
Yeah,
too, when
Tottenham,
we
of
do
course,
win, when we do win Premier League championships, we do it in style, unlike you losers who are boring.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah,
is that what happened?
undefeated.
I can.
Yeah, no,
we,
right.
I'll
like,
Scoring
always
we
30
believe.
won the
goals.
league at White Hart Lane that one year, and
Yeah.
I was not watching at that time, but just watching that clip of us winning the league at White Hart Lane makes me feel better on days when I'm having a very bad day. I will find it and I will watch it
It's the only
I'm
because
just
time they'll get
talking
sad
close to a
Tottenham
trophy.
fans, are my favorite thing in the
Yeah.
world.
Yeah. We
Mhm.
drink Tottenham tears up in here. I'm just
Yeah.
being Adelia's hype man. I know nothing about English Premier League.
I'll
Actually, I
always
don't. That's a joke. I'm
I'll
kidding. I
always
do know.
get why Tottenham fans and Arsenal fans hate each other. It's that's just animalistic.
Yeah.
You know, it's
Yeah.
the same reason why I hate Fulham, why I hate so many
Why do you
clubs.
hate Fulham? Like, what the hell they do to you?
What? Well, Fulham
Fulham's
is
very
like
Fulham.
close to Chelsea.
5 blocks away.
I know,
Uh,
but it's Fulham.
like Chelsea plays on Fulham Road.
That's like us hating
It was
Brentford.
the bridge was offered to Fulham first. They
No,
declined.
it's not like us hating Brentford,
Yeah,
Ferris.
this is Hatfields
Fulham
and
is
McCoy's
actually
show.
closer to Chelsea than I think Tottenham is to us. I think
Oh,
Tottenham and
word?
Arsenal are
Oh,
4 miles away from each
Yeah,
other.
we're within blocks of each other. So yeah, so that's why it's just a hatred. I hate them. I
Yeah,
hate
no,
them.
but
But the
like
weird thing
Rob.
is, Man United fans cheering against Arsenal. This is City. This is
Yeah,
City. It's like
yeah,
they
I
cheer
did
against
not
their own
understand it.
interests. That's the stupidest thing I ever heard in my life.
No,
Yeah,
because
Be like a
City,
I didn't
like
Liverpool
understand
fan
it.
cheering for
honestly,
City. I don't get it. I don't get it.
honestly, bro, Man United should have. I think have lost self respect because
No,
Man
sure.
City has become what you were. You're
Ugh.
because back in the day, man, no one cared about Man City. No one cared about it.
No,
It was
no one cared until the last 5 or 6 years. That's why
exactly.
I said Man City has always been an afterthought.
Yeah. So
It
that
will
big
return
six
one time.
nonsense,
It will
that big
become
six
an afterthought
nonsense
again.
isn't a big
Yep.
six. I just think they keep adding the big six nonsense because now they're run by a country and they have an influx of cash. But like the original big, it was four. It was a big four. It was
Yeah.
us, Chelsea, United, Liverpool. All right, that's what
Mhm.
it was. And Everton back in the day, and then not anymore. But that big six nonsense, it's never been a big six. I hate you're not going to push that media narrative on us. That's not happening. Tottenham is not a part of it. It is not a part of it. So you
Never.
can never, it's never
Never.
happening. I will never accept it. It doesn't exist.
Nope.
It's not a big six. And Man City's only there because they bought their seat at the table. Okay?
Nope.
They
Now
bought
you
their
could
seat at
almost
the
add
table. That's why it's
Newcastle.
a big five because Man City bought their seat. They bought their seat.
Yeah.
They didn't, that's what they did. So that's why it's a big five. I'll accept a big five because I know Man City bought their seat, but it's really a big four.
Everybody
And
buys their
Man
seat.
United fans need to have some self-respect and need to realize that your crosstown rival has become what you have always been. They have become you.
Yeah.
They have become you, and you've become City's fans. You need to look in the mirror and have some self-respect. Your crosstown rival has become you, and you need to get the Glazers either out of there as quickly as possible
Well,
or do what AC Milan did and cuss out your players and whatever. Y'all have lost respect. Have some self-respect.
$6 billion offer on the table for Manchester United as of right now, but there's still no word on if the two Glazer brothers would actually sell their stakes. So right now it's just that. It's just an offer. We'll see going forward. Let's go on from there. Anyways, yeah, we'll go on
Before
from
we
there.
do that,
Sure.
let's hear from Justin
Oh yeah,
on
that guy.
a few things that are going on with the channel.
Hey guys, it's Justin, aka Hambone, just here to let you know a couple of things that we have going on with the channel. One, we have a Patreon. If you can and want to support us, you can do that. Little as $1. You can join the Discord. We also have a merch store where you can get some cool shirts, mugs, and stuff with all of our different shows and labels on there. And thank you for all of our supporters that have already been there with us.
All
Love
right,
it.
so we had some matches on Sunday as well.
Yes.
Where do you want to start, Snark?
Let's start with West Ham and Leeds. Not a great result for Leeds, who desperately needed a win, sitting still in relegation. But they did have one of my favorite goals of the weekend with the throw-in goal that finds the boot of Rodrigo. It was poorly marked, of course, by
You know who
West
assisted on
Ham.
that goal, Rob?
Who threw it in?
Weston McKinney, baby.
There you go. Some American content. I remember he caught in just before they got rid of Jesse Marsh too. So yeah, maybe it's his fault. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, Weston McKinney. Yeah, that was a hell of a throw. He threw it to the middle of the box.
Yeah, he
The
did.
middle of the
Yeah.
box.
He did.
Unbelievable. But yeah, it wasn't enough. As we mentioned before, Declan Rice scores in which would be his last match there. As well as a hammer, Jared Bowen, Lanzini gets one as well. Yeah, David Moyes not only still has a job at Adelia, he's taking West Ham to the vaunted and aforementioned Europa Conference League final in June against Fiorentina. Here's to the best 250th team in Europe, I guess.
Yay!
The only
Participation
reason
trophies.
the only reason David Moyes still has a job, I imagine, is this European Conference League run.
Yeah. Let's see. I just want to see quick. What position is
Okay, I
West
have a
Ham in?
question.
I know.
I have a question.
Yeah, they're gonna be fine.
Is this just the new involved world football fan? Am I being disrespectful by calling these participation trophies?
No. At least they
mean,
get to participate, though. At
Yeah,
least
at least they get to
they were offered a
participate.
chance. Yeah. There's a
The
bunch of teams
Conference
that
League was supposed to be for the smaller leagues in Europe to be able to get to play more European football than they would get if opportunities in the Champions League or the Europa League. And of course, we have someone from the Premier League and someone from Serie A in the final. I mean,
yeah.
that's just the
It's
way
a revenue
UEFA
stream.
makes sense. Yeah.
Revenue for them, which is fine.
West Ham's in 14th.
Yeah, I just saw that. I was looking to see if they were going to have a chance to take out Chelsea. They won't. They can match them on points, but unless Chelsea gives up an insane amount of goals to Newcastle on the weekend, they're not going to catch them. So they will stick around. Well, there's a chance they could move up to 13th. They could probably pass Wolves, considering the way Wolves play. But it's a fine season, I guess. I'm sure David Moyes will be head of the squad come next the end of summer, I guess. But
I would be really surprised if David Moyes gets replaced in the summer.
I just think there's been so many chances for him to get replaced before, and that it just makes it through. But we'll see.
And that is why I would be surprised if he gets replaced in the summer.
Yes, that's right. Okay, back to the sine wave. That is Brighton. They beat the bottom dwellers again, 3-1. Evan Ferguson with the brace in the first half. Uzi will get one back, or Uzi will get one back for the Saints. But it's Pascal Gross will score as well. Pascal Gross, one of the coolest spelt names that I've ever seen. I love that little B thing that makes an S sound. It doesn't matter.
Rob, can you also point out that they switched Moises Caicedo back to the midfield because in the game, what was it, Brighton against talked about Newcastle. Brighton against Newcastle, they made him a left back. And then against Southampton, they made him a midfielder. Why are
he's a natural midfielder? I think he was just pushed to the other one.
But that's the second time I've seen a coach make their defensive midfielder a left back. Like Carlo Ancelotti does that with Eduardo Camavinga a lot, and I don't understand that. Like, I just don't get it. Like, why play them out of position? I get national team reasons for playing out of position, but like club reasons, I don't understand why even think about that. Like I just don't
there
get
might have been an injury, and they needed someone to cover there.
Yeah, because right, Adelia. Sure. Because Alex McAllister didn't play in the Newcastle
game.
Alexis McAllister, yeah.
Why is he spelled like Alex?
Because his name is Alexis.
Yeah.
I know, but like there's a time where it's literally just Alex. There's no IS.
Well, maybe he goes by Alex, but his name is Alexis McAllister.
Okay, so Alexis McAllister, like he didn't play against Newcastle, so you're probably right on that one.
Yeah. The moral and the history of it all. With the victory, Brighton and Hove Albion will be participants in Europe football for the first time in their history. They're guaranteed at least.
I think that's well deserved.
Yeah, they've been
phenomenal this year.
Over two different managers, like two different managers. Like the one.
Who's their first manager?
How dare you,
Graham Potter?
How dare you?
Oh yeah. But I thought he was at Chelsea.
He was.
He was. He started the season at Brighton.
Yep.
And
Then
then
he left
when
for
Chelsea
Chelsea?
fired Tuchel, he left
No.
for Chelsea.
And he
Yeah.
got fired.
Yeah, there was this dump truck of money that the owners decided to put, and the bully decided to put on his front lawn. It says, "Hey, you want to come coach Chelsea instead?" He said, "Hey, why not?" Yeah, and
Understandable.
It did not work out for him
yeah, it
or
did
for
not work.
Chelsea.
It didn't work out for Chelsea. It didn't work out for
But
anybody. He
getting
might be going to
Roberto De
France now. I hear.
Serbi,
Yeah,
yeah, but getting Roberto De Serbi in to replace Graham Potter at Brighton worked out very well for Brighton.
Mhm.
yeah, he's been terrific.
Brighton has been phenomenal this year. They've had their bad games, of course, but they fully deserving of European football. I feel so.
Yeah, and it's
Point Daves.
at least that crazy Europa Conference League. There's still a chance at the Europa League. They have 2 games left or whatever, I think, but it'll be tough. It'll be tough for them to get it, but I think mathematically they can still have a chance at the Europa League. But let's get on to City at home.
No, they're 5 points behind Liverpool. They can't go to the. I don't
They're
think.
they're 5 points behind Liverpool with 2 games remaining. So if Liverpool
True.
loses,
But Liverpool has a game remaining as well.
yeah, they have 1 game. Yeah, if Liverpool loses and Brighton wins both of their games, they can.
Well, one of
jump
Brighton's
past.
games is against Man City, so I'm going to go
Yeah,
with they're not going to do that.
they're not going to win. But yeah, that's what I said. Mathematically, they could do it. Realistically, it would be pretty tough. But yes, City taking on Chelsea. Chelsea again, 5 changes because why not? Does Mudryk play? No. João Felix, why would he play? Anyways, it's a 1-0 win. Bad pass by Wesley Fofana is intercepted, and Alvarez scores the only goal 12 minutes in. And then City just kind of played with its food for the rest of the night. Didn't really do much. There was a couple of chances. Sterling had a couple of chances. Gallagher had a good chance off the bar. City a couple more chances as well. They get to lift the trophy after Gundogan gets to hold the trophy up. All that ticker tape goes around. One thing I thought was interesting is that I heard that Chelsea is the only team to not let Erling Haaland score on them this year. So if there's a trophy for that, we'll gladly hold it up. But I don't think
He
there
didn't
is.
play.
There is not.
Yeah, there is not. Yeah. So congratulations.
I'm pretty sure Erling Haaland at least played in the first fixture between the two.
Yeah.
Sides.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
That's what I'm
Congratulations
pointing out,
to the
Rob.
champ. They deserved it. They played well, especially in the second half of the year.
Also, too, Rob. On Chelsea news,
Yeah.
Raheem Sterling tweets out, "I should have never left," when he was referring to Man City.
Well, he's also tweeted out that he really wants to be a part of the new Chelsea moving forward. He tweets out a lot of things.
Okay.
He's only really started playing, I think, in the last 3 weeks. I think he's looked well. He's deserved a spot to start. I still think he runs weird. I'll never understand the hands out to keep himself balanced. It's it's disturbing sometimes, but it works for him. He's
So
a
he runs
millionaire.
like this, Rob. He runs like this,
Yeah, he kind of goes like this, with his chest out and stuff. Yeah,
like a
it's
chicken.
bizarre. He like a
Like
chicken.
run around like a chicken.
Like trying to keep his balance and stuff like that. He looks like a
I found out Raheem Sterling was Muslim, by the way, too. So shout out to
Yes.
Raheem Sterling.
Yeah.
Praise be upon you, Raheem. Hey,
Sure.
man, William Saliba.
Yeah.
So the William Saliba
there's
injury
all
kind of
kinds.
took me out for a bit.
Both Fofanas in Chelsea. There's a lot. Yeah. Koulibaly in Chelsea. Chelsea has quite a few Muslim players. That's it for
Hakeem
Chelsea.
Ziyech.
Like Chelsea gets one more game. It's against Newcastle, and Frankie Lampard will probably play 8 other players. Thank goodness this is going to be Frankie Lampard's last game in charge of this squad next week. I can't wait for the summer to start. It has been the worst season as a Chelsea fan that I can remember. Glad that it's gone. Glad we didn't get relegated. There's plenty of times this year where Chelsea deserved to be relegated. You don't lose to Southampton twice in 1 year. You lose to Leeds. Like we just lose to so many bad teams, and we also lose to good teams. We can only beat really middling teams. Nobody wants to score. It's Havertz. I think led the team this year. I think he had 7 goals. Havertz.
What
He looks
happened,
like a
Ral?
crippled. He looks like a crippled Diro.
What
It
happened?
looks like nobody gives a shit. Like there's no pride in here. Like, and then we're getting rid, and then all the leaders are leaving. Like this is like next week should be Dave's last game in charge as captain. He'll probably go back to Spain. Who else? Looks like Thiago Silva, who's probably our best player all year, even though he signed a contract to play another year. It's probably looking like he's going to go and try and finish out his career in Brazil, back home. Who's left to lead? Who's left to lead? You got academy players like Mason Mount. It looks like they're going. Like it's yeah. I don't know who's coming in to run this
Rich
squad. I don't
James
know.
can't stay healthy.
He can't stay healthy, and he may be the best right back in the world. He just can't stay healthy. Like he shuts down players so well, and he's when the ball goes forward, he usually is pretty good putting in spaces. Not this year. It's just been off. Everything seems a little off with Chelsea this year. It's been yeah. I went to see them in their first exhibition match in Las Vegas this year. I noticed some weird things then with Tuchel in charge. Some things that I thought were not Chelsea-esque, but it was preseason. All this stuff seemed to build though, and through like when Tuchel was charged, and thank goodness he was in charge for a little bit. That's where we got our points to stay at. But you could see there's a difference in the squad moving forward, and with all this influx of players and trying to find pieces, and our goaltending's gone to shit. Mendy at one point was considered one of the best keepers in the world. Is terrible. He's terrible. We had to go back to rely on Kepa Arrizabalaga, and he's been well, not terrible, but he hasn't been great. I don't. When was the last time Chelsea kept a clean sheet? It's hard. It's been hard to be a Chelsea fan this year. I'm sure, and nobody feels sorry for me, and I
No, we
appreciate
don't.
that very much. Yes, Chelsea
I'm
has
quite
had it.
enjoying this.
Yeah. Oh my goodness gracious, Chelsea has had a very good run over the last 20 years. Um, we'll eat some humble pie this year. Hopefully next year they can figure it out.
Hope
There's
it's
going to be
happy.
a huge amount of people leaving. Um, Maybe Conor Gallagher, of course, mentioned Mount and stuff like that. Guys like Ruben Loftus-Cheek probably going on. Kovacic probably moving on. There's, yeah, of course, I mentioned Dave before, but yeah, lots of players leaving. They got to trim this squad down way too big. Like 31 players on your squad. Oh my God. They were saying that players had to get changed outside the changing room in the hallways. There's just so many of them. So, uh, Todd Bailey comes in, buys the squad, him and his group. Maybe a little too eager. I think a little too eager might be a way to sum up his first season as the owner, replacing the former owner who I loved but will not mention his name anymore.
By the
Uh,
way, Dave, everyone, for the non-Premier League fans, is Cesar Alice
as Pilaqueta,
as Piliqueta.
we call him Dave.
I should know this because he was on Morning Footy like 2 days ago.
Yeah, terrific, terrific guy, terrific leader. He's been very good for Chelsea. He got to host the Champions League trophy for us.
5th all-time in appearances.
Yeah, terrific. He's been terrific. Not this year. You can show he's shown signs of slowing down and stuff like that. But yeah, it'll be on to the next. On to the next. Now it'll be a new squad. We'll have a new leader in charge. Somebody's going to take up the mantle here somewhere. But lots of changes need to be done. We need a new keeper. We need a new midfielders. We need a striker. For God's sakes, we need a number 9. But yeah, we'll see. I think it's August. Play resumes. Hopefully by August they'll get it figured out. Only one more match to talk about, guys. Newcastle, Leicester, in a barn burner this afternoon, where Leicester, again, I don't think cares if they get through or not, because they got worked. Newcastle, of course, Newcastle only just playing with the ball. No real chances in this match. In the first half alone, Newcastle had 83% of the ball. 83% of the time. I think they finished north of 70. I'm not sure. I think they finished with 73% or something like that. Yeah, Leicester, you're the one that's trying to get out of the goddamn trap door. And a performance like that against a team that's only half willing. Yeah. Now Newcastle is assured Champions League play now. They get it. They're through. They can't be caught by Liverpool anymore. So congratulations to them.
Final possession stats were Newcastle 77.5%,
77.
Leicester 22.5%.
Leicester still 2
Leicester
points behind.
had one shot.
Yeah, it's
Newcastle had
incredible.
23.
Yeah, it's
Can
incredible.
you believe that this is the same organization that has a Premier League title?
Yep.
Yep.
It's nonsense.
Yep. I remember Chelsea stealing Tottenham's place for that at home. Eden Hazard, what a game! What a game! So good. More Tottenham tears make me happy. So
When he
that's
put
it
on
for the
that
week.
Real Madrid jersey, he started this. His body just started to destroy himself.
Yeah, it's sad. I feel really bad. One of my like again, when you talk about my favorite players, I love Eden Hazard, and not a great World Cup either. It's too
Yeah,
bad.
Belgium completely was
Yeah,
like
they shit
a
the bed. They shit the bed.
yeah. It was like Venom famously said, a turd in the wind.
That is super famous.
Every 4
Okay.
years, I was Belgian, and every 4 years, I was disappointed.
So we did our predictions for this week, Adelia and I, and we tied. I'm going to say that we did not have the best of weeks. Did not have the best of weeks. There was a lot of draws. And we did not pick
Yeah, there
any of
were.
them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Of the 11 matches, the final score was 2-2. So
Oh boy.
not great. So 1 week left. Next week is our season finale of the starting 11. Are you excited, Adelia?
I am looking forward to it.
Yeah.
The season is ending the right before my birthday,
Ooh.
day before my birthday.
Mm.
I'm looking forward to Arsenal playing Wolves. I hope Wolves just don't care, and Arsenal actually does care to put in a final good performance at home.
Mhm.
I would imagine.
And I'm just gonna enjoy it for what it is. And then get to talk about this with you next week.
Yes.
Final time this season.
So we got one more slate of matches to predict. Fares, you want in on this? Want to do some
Sure.
predicting? All right. First match coming Wednesday. Brighton's first match of the week against City.
Man City.
I'm gonna go City.
Okay. I'm going City. I'm not foolish. Man U versus Chelsea at Old Trafford.
Man U.
Man United.
How dare you two? For fun, I'm going to say Chelsea. This is why
Sure, Rob.
Okay.
I always lose. Let's go with the aforementioned Arsenal Wolves.
Arsenal.
Oh, you guys think? All right. I'm going to agree with you just so I don't feel left out. We got Villa and Brighton. This could be a good match.
Yeah, it could be a good match.
I'm gonna go Villa.
It's at Villa.
Brighton coming off of only this is on a Sunday. There's all these matches now on Sunday. And Brighton had played the Wednesday.
We'll go Villa.
Villa at home.
Villa at home.
I'm gonna go draw.
Ooh, okay. I'm gonna say Brighton's spot is assured European football. I'm gonna say Villa as well. Brentford gets to host City as well.
City.
Fair says City. Delia says City. Does Brentford put up a fight in their last game of the year? Does City sit everybody? I'm gonna say Brentford. Just because I'm different like that. Speaking of different, Chelsea's second and final, luckily enough, match of the year against Newcastle. This is at the Bridge.
Newcastle.
Yeah, Newcastle.
I'm going to say Newcastle rest people because their place is assured. It doesn't matter if they finish third or fourth. Chelsea at home. Maybe there's something to play for. It'll be Lamps' last time on the touchline for Chelsea. If friggin' better be anyways. I'm going to say Chelsea wins. Why not? Just my blind faith is ridiculous. Speaking of faith.
Did you like being tortured, Rob?
I do. Yeah, it's gross. Palace and Forest.
Palace.
Forest.
Oh, okay. Forest for Fares.
Well,
Fares for
they need to win to stay up.
no,
No,
they're
no.
they're sure to being up.
Forest is up because they beat us.
Yeah,
Oh,
they're sure to being up. And Palace at home. I'm gonna say draw. That'll be the one I get a -1 on. Everton in a huge match against Bournemouth.
I'm going Everton.
Everton at home.
Survival.
I think I'm going Everton too.
No, this is tough. Bournemouth with nothing to play for.
Bournemouth has nothing to play for. Everton has everything to play for.
Everything to play
Yeah.
for. Even a
Sean
draw.
Dyche will have
helps.
them up for that game.
You would hope so. You shouldn't even need to get them up. They should know just by the weight of the
Yeah.
experience they should be up. I'm
Mhm.
going to agree with you guys. I'm going to say Everton. Everton to claim their place in the Premier League for next season. Leeds and Spurs.
Spurs.
Okay.
Yeah, Spurs.
I think Leeds are going down.
Yeah, I think so as well. But as you know, I hate to put that S down. It's tough. Maybe I'll do it with my left hand, just so I don't poison my right hand. S. Very good. Leicester versus West Ham.
West Ham.
West Ham.
Leicester at
Even
home.
though I think they might rest players, West Ham, because they have that European final coming up, I just do not think Leicester has anything left in them.
They were terrible today.
Yeah.
And a game. This is a winnable game against West Ham, in a game that could mean so much to them, because I believe the match with Everton is going on at the same time. They will not.
All
be
these
shown
matches are going on at the same time on Sunday.
Yeah, they will not be shown the Everton scoreline in the building. That is for sure. At King's Palace Stadium. Do I want to say Leicester just to be fun? I'm gonna say Leicester. Who knows? Manchester United will take on Fulham at Old Trafford.
Man United. That will be an interesting one after the
Yes,
FA
I
Cup
agree.
match that occurred earlier this year, but I think
Mhm.
Man United will win.
Against who?
Fulham,
Fulham.
the Cottagers.
Yeah, I'll go United. Wait, you know what?
Yeah.
I'll go Fulham.
Okay, very good.
Fulham.
I'm gonna
Because
pick
of
a
that
draw.
FA Cup, Adelia, where they what? Like where they kicked like 2 people out?
well,
That's one way of putting it.
yeah.
It was actually 3.
Yeah, it was plus the
Manager
coach,
and 2
right?
players. Yeah.
One for
Yeah.
8 games. It should have
I'm
been way
gonna go
more.
Fulham.
Yeah, the fact that Alexander Mitrovic is going to get to play in this game is
bananas.
something.
Bananas. Like, give him 3 more games, guys. Just tell him you don't get to play. Like, no one would have been upset. There's not one person who would have been upset. Anyways, whatever.
I'll go Fulham.
Ridiculous that he's playing, but he scored 2 goals last game, so why not? I'll still say draw. And the last match of the 2022-23 season, at least on the books here, Southampton at home in their final Premier League match for a year at least against Liverpool.
Liverpool.
Yeah, right. They're not going to show up for this, I don't think. I think they should all be embarrassed for themselves for how poorly they did, except for against teams like Chelsea and Arsenal. Anyways, that's it. That's it for the second to last week of the Premier League here on Starting 11.
Yep.
Fares, thanks for showing up.
I appreciate you guys. Thank you guys so much for having me on. I love the world game, the beautiful game, the majestic game.
Oh boy.
The intoxicating game.
Holy hell.
Yeah, it's an amazing game.
Poem. It's a poem.
Yeah, it is. Thank you, Rob. I am a raconteur, as I've been called.
Sure.
Well, you two have reinvigorated my love for the game. I became an Arsenal fan because of my dearest best friend Adelia. Well, best friend's kind of an understatement. My sister Adelia. Family basically. So we are a Gunner. We're a Gooner family up in here. Except the crazy uncle named Rob. So we're a bunch of Gooners. But I also show some respect to a team in Spain that goes by FC Barcelona, because they're the reason I fell in love with the game, but they're not my team yet.
Good.
Anymore. Because they're idiots.
The levers. The levers.
Yes.
Oh my God.
So and I
that's
appreciate you guys so
fun.
much for allowing me on.
It was our
Thank you for being
pleasure.
here, Fares. Tell the people where they can find you.
Every Friday on this channel, 3:00 Pacific. Good friends, better rivals. Me and Caleb talk about the American football.
Hmm.
We talk about the American football and a specifically version of the NFC East, Cowboys Giants. This week we ranked the offensive side of the ball for the NFC East. The following week we're gonna be ranking the defensive side. So there's that.
Sure.
Thank you, Fares. Snark, where can the people find you?
Well, next week you'll find me here on the season finale of Starting 11. You'll still be able to watch Adelia and I, at least Adelia's possible corporal form, or maybe she's just going to be
Yes,
a
I will
ghost
get my
again.
camera fixed.
Maybe she'll be a ghost again. Who knows? It's for playoff beards, Stanley Cup playoffs in the semifinals now. So close to being the end for that show as well. But it's been an incredible run in the semifinals so far. Each game going to overtime as we record this, and terrific fun and great hockey. The way it should be played with violent skills. You can also catch me with LGRN after Snark. We're back now. We're switched to Twitch, going live. We kept it family friendly for the most part for the first one, so I'm very proud of us for that. You can only watch afterwards if you're a member of our Patreon. That's where the VODs will be loaded afterwards. We're only getting the chance to watch us live on Twitch afterwards. Join our Patreon. You can watch it anytime. Also, doing some work with Justin over on that E&B show, talking some entertainment with Adelia as well, who's also should be in the flesh, hopefully, when we record that. Next! How about you, Adelia?
You can find me on Twitter at Adelia Chambo. Like Snark said, Playoff Beards and Entertainment News Break. Fares and I are going to be recording an episode of The Rally this week, previewing the 2023 French Open tennis. That starts on Sunday. I'm not sure when that episode's going up yet, but it will come up sometime this week. And join the Patreon, patreon.com/LGR_network. $1 a month gets you into the Discord where you can hang out and voice chat with the three of us and talk about all kinds of different things. Fares and I last night in the voice chat watched an episode of Netflix's Bad Sport on the Calciopoli scandal in Juventus in 2004 to 2006. That was fascinating. So come hang out if you're so inclined, and we will see you all next week for the season finale.
I also made a
What,
sandwich
Fares?
in the Discord as well.
Yes, Fares made a sandwich. We talked
Important.
Fares through
That's
making
important.
a sandwich. All right, we'll see you guys next week.